Hey everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to My Kind of Country for our Memorial Day show with you today. And it's a pleasure to have this gentleman on the air with me tonight. He's all the way down in Phoenix City, Alabama. And he's been performing all over the country for many years with his band Strokin' Dixie. And he's worked with some great people. And he's got a beautiful song we're going to talk about and play it for you tonight for Memorial Day. It's my pleasure to welcome Dale Boswell to My Kind of Country. Dale, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Scott, and how are you doing, my friend?
Just fantastic. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, and we have had a lot of great talks about our good friend Freddie Hart.
Yes, we have, and I really miss him. It don't seem like it's been that long since he's gone, but yeah, he was a dear friend.
He was a treasure, there's no doubt about it. And you and your band worked with him quite a bit, and him and Razzie Bailey, is that right?
Yes, we did. It wasn't a whole lot, but especially when they were just in our area, we didn't have to travel too far. Then it's kind of a little comfort to them that we could, they had kind of a backup band ready in this area, so we kind of knew their material a little better than just pulling a band up, out of the garage somewhere.
Yeah,
or something. I don't know,
yeah.
but yes, we've had a lot of good times with Freddie and Razzie.
Well, that's great. Now Razzie has he's recording some new music, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, he is. I saw that not long ago, and I'm so glad because he's such a great talent, great entertainer. I met him actually Freddie introduced me to him a few years ago, but I've always been a fan of Razzie before I actually met him.
Well, Freddie and Razzie did some tours together, I believe, didn't they?
Oh yeah. They've done many tours and just had a good time, just traveling back and forth. And of course, Freddie's toured with everybody, or
yeah.
he did, but yeah, they're both doing real good as far as Razzie is. He's doing real good, and
Well, that's good.
doing some recording. He's feeling real good. So I'm glad to hear that. Him and Faye both, his wife, are real good people.
They sure are. Razzie's been on my show before, and I'm looking forward to getting his new music when he gets it done. And you live in Phoenix City, Alabama, which is where Freddie grew up.
That's correct. That's where we moved here in 1970, and of course, that was the year of Easy Loving, and I was like, just 11, 12 years old, and at that time, I didn't know who Freddie Hart was. I was just in my early stages of country music, I guess, and I guess Johnny Cash and Glenn Campbell. Those were my major influences. Back then I was just learning to play guitar and piddling around with writing a few songs. Anyway, we had moved to Phoenix City, and we found a church there close to where we were living. So we were going there to church, and everybody, a lot of people knew that I loved country music as young as I was, and played a little bit. So they introduced me to this lady, and they said, this lady, her brother's into country music. I said, really? And it was Nadine, and that's Freddie Hart's sister. Mm-hmm. So we kind of grew close with her all through the years, almost like a second mother. She got real close with my family, my mother and my dad, and and that's where my relationship with Freddie come, or actually where it started from. And we've just been friends ever since, like I said, since 1970. So it was a while.
They're great people. He's got a wonderful family. I've had a chance to meet a few of them, and they're just the nicest people. And he's got some family up here in Michigan, too. His brother that just passed away recently lived here in Michigan. His
Junior
family.
And Nancy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember in 1976, I think it was, right after I graduated high school, my dad had got a job in Detroit, somewhere in Dearborn, somewhere up in there. Mm-hmm. And he wanted me to go with him, so I've never been, too far up north like that. So, yeah, I was excited to go. So I went with him, and I knew that Junior lived up there. So he was one of the first people we got in contact with, so at least we knew somebody, you know. So we got to to hang out with Junior and Nancy a few times while we lived up there. It wasn't long, but they're real good people too. And Junior was he was just like Freddie. He was just as good as gold.
Yeah, he was good singer and player too. He had a band up here and
oh yeah,
played a lot of good music. Absolutely. Well, tell me about this beautiful song. We're going to play this. It's just the perfect day for it. It's called "My Soldier Prayer."
Yes, sir. I've been so honored by this song, and I'm so humbled by it. I guess start off. I wrote it in 2006, and late 2006, and we recorded it in 2007. But I had actually started on it, working on it a little bit. I think I had the verse of it, and we were playing at this VFW in Wetumpka, Alabama, and we would play there, pretty regular, at least once or twice a month. And there were a couple there that were regulars, and they would always come see us. And one day we were setting up the stage, and I walked by and they said, Dale, do y'all know any patriotic songs? I said, no, but not really. But I said, but there's one I'm working on, and so I sang all I had was the verse, and I sang it to them right there at the table, just a cappella. And they loved it, so I thought, well, maybe there's something here. So I went home and I didn't work on it that much more, but we had to come back to VFW a couple of weeks later, and again they asked me, have I finished that song? And I had, basically forgot about it. And I told my wife Robin, I said, dang, I got to finish that tune. It's a pretty good song, maybe. So I sat down and finished it. Well, the next time we played in Wetumpka, I never will forget this, and we got photos and maybe a video somewhere. But that couple was there, and I said, I got a song for you. So we were playing, of course, just a variety band, and we played just a little bit of everything. So it got about the middle of the night, and we went on break. So I got up enough nerve to try it, even though I haven't sang it. The band hadn't never heard it, actually. The band didn't have a clue. So I got up during break with just my guitar, and I said, I want to try a song for you. And I sang it right there in that VFW. And I was so amazed. It seemed like the whole club just stopped what they were doing. Everybody that was playing pool stopped and turned towards the stage. People started gathering around the stage, and soon they were saluting the stage, saluting me. And I'm like, oh my God, and it almost brings tears to me now, just thinking about it. And I couldn't, I come off the stage, and they were just surrounding me and telling me, what a great song, and telling me the stories of their fallen friends and heroes and relatives, and so, after that, my band really liked it also, so I said, we got to go in the studio and let's record this. So it wasn't long, just early 2007, we went into the studio here in Phoenix City. A dear friend of mine by the name of Larry Rose, and he's worked with a lot of big professionals through the years, and he's the greatest bass player in the world, and he's worked with me, but he had a recording studio, and still does, actually. But I went in there and played it for him, and he loved it, said, let's record it then. So we went into the studio, and it was myself, Bruce Wood, my bass player, Roy Matthews played guitar and steel and harmonica, and Don Williamson played drums. So we recorded it with just us four pieces. And if you have been in a recording studio, do a little bit and add a little bit here and see if you want to change this and that and the other. But we got to a point, it was just my vocals, no background vocals at all. I told Larry, I said, do you think we need any background harmonies or something in there, something to make it a little stronger? And he said, well, let's go in the other room and listen. It's kind of a thing you could actually, sometimes you could go into another room a little bit away from the music where you can just barely hear it, and it's like you can hear it better. Yeah. You hear what's actually there, Yeah. And so we looked at each other and we said, we don't need to touch that, do we? And we didn't, and it's the record you got today. It was where we stopped at. And I look back now, I think, it would be cool if it did have some really strong vocals behind it, kind of like, the Lee Greenwood song. But it's like I said, it's been an honor, it's been a blessing. I've received emails from all over the world. Oh man, just tear-stained letters, again, of people thanking me for the song and telling me the stories of their fallen friends and relatives, and I collect all of them and I save them, and it really humbles me to no end, and I explain to these people, thank you so much, but I didn't do it. I may sing it, but I'm just the messenger. Wherever this song came from, I'm the messenger, and you give thanks somewhere, somewhere else up above to that guy up there.
That's right.
But it wasn't long before my drummer, Don Williamson, and actually he passed away not long ago, and I would really like to dedicate this program to him because he played that drum part in the song, the cadence, and man, couldn't nobody do it like he did it. But anyway, I miss Don. Oh, yeah. But anyways, Don had sent the song to Jimmy Fortune to listen to. Jimmy Fortune, he's one of the greatest singers and songwriters, and worked with the Statler brothers for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy sent back an email, and again, this humbled me so much, but Jimmy said, Dale, this song is exactly what America needs to hear. And wow, I was like floored, because Jimmy's music, he's a great songwriter, and he has wrote one of his songs called "The Wall" is one of the greatest patriotic songs I've ever heard. Yeah. But that was an honor. Then it wasn't long before we found out that George Jones had heard it, and his assistant at the time had called me and said that George would like to have 12 CDs to send to some friends for Christmas. And it was around that time, wasn't too far from Christmas. And actually, George's house and acreage and just beautifully set up for Christmas. It was beautiful. I never will forget that. But anyways, we told him, I said, well, we're going to be going to Nashville before long. Why don't we just bring him to you? So we just decided to do that, and that's when we went to George's house there in Franklin, Tennessee, where he and Nancy lived at the time. Anyway, we got there, and unfortunately, George and Nancy had to go somewhere, but still the assistant was there, and she took the CDs, and actually took us a tour of George's home, and my goodness, it was like the Country Music Hall of Fame. It was I never will forget that. And,
that's great.
But anyway, a good thing later, we got back home, and it wasn't long. We got I got in the mail an autographed picture from George, and actually he sent me a Christmas card too. But he said that was probably the greatest military tribute that he had ever heard. And again, I'm like, goodness, I just didn't know what to say.
That's high praise coming from the possum, that's for sure.
Oh, don't you know it? And it would just excite me to think that here it is, one of the greatest voices, if not the greatest voice in country music, is riding around listening to one of my CDs like gazillions of folks are listening to his, and that really makes you proud. I've never made any money or anything off this song, but the feeling that it gives people, I don't know if it would call it closure or not, but they play it at military funerals, and they were playing in Veterans type day parades and things like that. But
Well, that's great.
I think that's about the history of it. And I still get to do it once in a while, and actually a lot of times when I'm singing it, Scott, I would look out in the audience, and a lot of times the audience would be crying from hearing this song, and they would get me to crying. So I got to where I couldn't watch the audience, or I was squalling like a baby, and I wrote the song, So that is, again, something to experience that just, and I keep using the word amaze, but it just amazes me and humbles me to no end. We played a club, like big biker clubs, for instance, outside somewhere, and these are some of the best people in the world to play for. But anyway, to look out and see 50 or 100 big burly bikers wiping their eyes, tears, man, if that won't get to you, nothing will.
Absolutely. And there's a great video you've got for this. It's on YouTube, and we'll put a link on our Facebook page too, so folks can watch that. And that's just beautiful.
Oh, that'd be great. And actually, I've done several of them, actually to the same song, but I just, did several different videos. But it's all out there. If you just Google it, you should find it.
Well, folks, we're going to play that song for you right now. It's an absolutely powerful song, My Soldier Prayer. And Dale, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on My Kind of Country for our special Memorial Day show.
I thank you, Scott, so much, and I want to thank you from the heart of country music for all you do, brother. Thank you so much.
Well, hey, it's my honor. Here's Dale Boswell with My Soldier Prayer as we continue with My Kind of Country. Dale, thanks again.
Thank you.
Is freedom worth the price they pay? Ask a soldier, here's what he'll say: I'll proudly die for you, my friend. Though he don't know you, you don't know him. Say it's their job, but it's more than that. They go to work, some don't come back. That's why I pray to the Lord up there. Lord, listen to my soldier prayer. If I should die before the war is over, Lord, let my soul remain here on earth. Save heaven for the fallen soldier, for they deserve to go home first. Those pearly gates, they open wide. When I get there, I'll step aside and proudly stand till the last one's in. Say welcome home, my fallen friend. So if someone asks, is it worth the price? Can I give back those soldiers' lives? No, I can't, but this I swear, on bended knees, my soldier prayer. If I should die before the war is over, Lord, let my soul remain here on earth. Save heaven for the fallen soldier, for they deserve to go home first. Lord, I know this is a strange request. In fact, it may be one you've never heard. But if you'll give me a minute, I'll try and explain. As you know, our soldiers fighting die every day for the sake of freedom, and that's one debt that just cannot go unpaid. I believe all our soldiers have earned their share of heaven. So if you would, if you have time, please make sure there's a mansion for each and every one. And Lord, if you need one more, well, just give them mine. For they deserve